talk about, yep, you can talk about whatever you want, however you want to introduce this thing.
Well, first, just this is the first Beers and Business podcast.
Yeah.
And Beers and Business came about when I started a networking group about a year ago. So it was about a year, right? I think the Facebook group says a year. So what Facebook says is true.
So that would have been a year, yeah, probably a year
about
ago.
April.
Yeah, and that was when we just went to Moe's.
Yep.
Me, you, and Doug. Not Doug.
Chad Hopple.
Yeah, Chad.
Eric Rutz and Chris
Eric.
Ballman.
Yeah. Yep. That was it.
6 of us.
We were basically just at Moe's.
Just at Moe's. Didn't really talk about business. Just had some drinks, and just last night there was over 30 people.
How does that feel? Like,
it was good.
Like, I know you're supposed to interview me, but like, how does that feel to look around and see 30 people that wouldn't have been in that place if it wasn't for you?
Actually feels good.
Yeah.
Like it's obviously I did it to get my name out there, but to help everybody else. And it felt good knowing that it started with 6, went down to 4. There was a meeting that you and I were at, and Chad brought Doug Anderson.
Yeah.
And the 4 of us were sitting at a table, and Doug's looking at Chad. Why did you bring me here?
Yeah.
And
when we were sitting at Liberty Forge,
yep.
He was like, "What the hell is this?"
Yep. He's like, "This is not what I want to be doing."
Yeah.
And just last night, Doug spoke.
Nice.
So he was in full mode.
Nice.
Love the idea, and 30 other people do too. 30 plus.
Yeah. Well, I think, I mean, I think people want to, I think people want to network, but a lot of people don't know how to network.
Yep.
And that's what I like about Beers and Business is it takes the pressure off of a networking meeting, makes it not feel like a networking meeting, makes it more feel like celebration of business, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
Or like a gathering of businesses versus like forcing you to network. And when you're in that room, because there's so many good people in there, you're going to network by like the networking is going to happen as a natural byproduct.
Right.
But that's why I think it's why it's been successful so far, and why I think it'll continue to be successful.
I think so too.
Because it doesn't feel like a networking group.
Because you're a part of a couple of networking groups.
Yes. I love, you know what, networking is the best thing that I've done for myself and for our business in the last 9 years. Like,
that's bold to say something like that.
It's seriously true. I mean, the people, it's not even so much like getting business, but surrounding yourself with people who are good at business. Because when you surround yourself with really, really good people, you have no choice but to rise to their level.
Right.
You have no choice but to have better conversations and ask better questions, because everybody around you is asking better questions, having better conversations. And that's what networking has taught me. Like, I just got off the phone with a guy who is way out of my league as far as people that I feel like I should even talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Powerful businessman, very smart, rich, has built a humongous business. And I'm like, I feel like I shouldn't even talk to this guy. Right. Then that's just like that's just like a cognitive, dissonant kind of thing where you're like, you think you're not good enough to talk to somebody, but the more you talk to those kind of people, the more comfortable you get and realize that, business or not, we're all people. We all just want to be taken care of. We want to take care of others. We want our problems solved quickly, and we don't want to make it hard. And, so that's what networking has taught me is like, like someone like Doug, you know what I mean? Like, that's a powerful guy, and someone who like can can help you become a better leader of your team just by listening to him talk and picking up 1 or 2 things that he does. So networking. Yeah. Networking rules.
It is. You should never feel to not, or how do I want to put this? You should be able to go up to anybody and feel as confident to talk to them, whether it's the president or the grocery store person that would sell.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're all people. Yep. No matter what. No matter who you are. Whether you have $1 million in your bank account or $100 in your bank account.
Right.
We're all people.
Yep. We all do the same things. We all put our shoes on the same way.
Yep.
Somewhat.
Yeah. Some people go
left
Yeah.
right first. Or
You ever hear of the people who go sock shoe, sock shoe?
that sounds like a crazy person.
It's absolutely insane.
Yes.
But yeah, instead of going sock, sock, shoe, shoe, you go sock, shoe, sock, shoe.
Hmm.
I don't like any part of that.
No, you're better off doing shoe then socks over top of than going alternate like that. That just does. That's a crazy person.
Yeah, it's insane. So I don't think anyone actually does it. I think it's just a
thing. I bet you there's people out there who do it. There's like 8 billion people in the world, right?
yeah. There's
a lot.
Yeah, there's 8 billion people in the world, and
most of them wear shoes.
Most of them wear shoes. There's probably over 100 million people. If you were to take those stats, there's probably 100 million people.
Yep.
That put their shoes and socks on. Sock shoe, sock shoe.
You know what I'm going to do tomorrow morning?
Don't do it.
I'm going to try it.
Don't do it.
And
you're going to feel so weird.
Yep. I'm going
to
feel like I'm cheating on my socks and shoes, or cheating on my feet. They're not going to know what's up and what's down.
They're not going to know what's going on.
No. Okay, that got a little sidetracked, but
yeah, sorry. That was me.
Yeah, that's all right. Sidetracked. That's okay. But so you're Charlie Anderson, co-owner of Dreamworx Roofing.
Yes, I am.
What made you want to start this?
What made me want to start business was seeing how bad other businesses are run and how bad they are to people, and wanting to do something, wanting to push as hard against that as possible.
Right.
Like I think I told you, and I've told other people, like in my like early adult years, like I didn't even graduate high school. Right. 17, I just bounced.
Yep.
Right. I was like one day away from graduating high school, and I was like, all right, peace.
Yeah.
Never came back. I started working. And then from like 18 to 22, I quit more jobs than I had.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I quit so many jobs. I'd go for like a day, and I'd quit. And I'd go for like 2 weeks, and I'd quit. And then I'd go for like 3 months, quit. Like I was always just trying to find my place.
Mm-hmm.
Never quite knew what I wanted to do. I knew I had ideas, and I wanted to do fun things and be in control of my own destiny. So that's why I think I never really fit working for somebody.
Yeah.
But then when I did finally like put roots down at a couple companies, like it sucked.
Right.
It sucked. I saw firsthand businesses that weren't taking care of their employees. And if you're not taking care of your employees, you're certainly not taking care of your customers.
Right.
Because if you're screwing your people over on pay, what are you going to do when a customer needs a refund? Right. Like,
yeah,
that's the kind of thing I was working in.
Right. And if you're going to be, your employees aren't happy.
Right.
And they're not going to continue that happiness to a customer.
They're going to put out bad work.
Yep.
That's exactly right. So we kind of like, that was like our origin story, was like create a company that we wanted to work for.
Right.
And I think we still do that. Like I still get pumped to come to work every day.
Yeah.
It's stressful. There's a lot of change going on and a lot happening in the industry, but like at the end of the day, like this rules. I would never.
You gotta be happy with what you do.
Right. Right. So yeah, that's kind of why. That's why I got into it, was make a good business that is that makes money, provides everybody a good living, and treats their people and in turn their customers well.
Right. That's important, because there's a lot of companies out there that don't do that. Even the big corporations that don't treat employees that well, or lay you off after 20 years because you're getting a little older and they can hire somebody younger and cheaper.
That's right. And that's why I like small business, because it's really tough to scale. It's tough to scale one-on-one-ness. I don't know how to put that. It's tough to scale like an employer-employee relationship at a large scale, right?
Yep.
If you have 1,000 employees, you have no choice but to see everybody as a number,
right? Or
see everybody as a 3 infraction, 3 strikes you're out kind of thing, right? Because you can't.
There's too many people.
Yeah, you can't personally talk to 1,000 people,
right?
And keep it all straight. So that's why I love small business. It's like it gives you that ability to be flexible, to be understanding, to give somebody extra time off when they need it, to give unlimited sick days, to let people off early for soccer games,
right?
Kids baseball games, whatever else,
right? And another person by their name.
and then know that person by their name.
Yep.
Love it. Yep.
Maybe you know too much about all of us.
Yeah,
I would small business.
100%. I would
probably hire more people so you can get to know us a little bit less.
I would like to know less, but I'm fortunate to know what I know. Put it that way.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, not really.
No matter what, I'm fortunate, right?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Like I'm fortunate because people have opened up to us and let us know things about their personal lives, right? Like some people might see it as a burden. I see it as kind of a duty to people to not only help you have a good place to work, but, you know, a good place to learn more about life. And if I can help anybody, whether it be with kids or business ideas or whatever it may be,
right?
You know what I mean? So like I said, it's weird to be so close to your employees, but I don't take it for granted because I feel like there's a level of trust there that I've earned, and now like I try to take that very seriously.
Right. Yeah. It's working for a small business, obviously. I work for you, but it is nice that everybody really knows each other well. You know us. You know everybody's got who their kids are, most of their names, because all of our friends have so many kids, and there's kids running around, and I don't know all everybody's names. It's like, hey, there's John's kid. What's his name again? But it's nice knowing if I go, you know, my son's got a soccer game.
Yeah.
Or something I need to bounce a little early.
Yeah, like that's totally cool.
Don't have to go up a corporate chain to put in time off.
Right. Yeah, that's cool. So, you know, I want to live in that space. I want to live in this space as long as we can.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, there's a lot of things that are trying to crush small businesses out there, like, you know, private equity companies, you know, a dwindling amount of people looking to get in the trades. So there's, you know, people aren't starting new businesses in the trades. So super rich people that live on Wall Street are coming in and starting those businesses themselves.
Right.
Which means that it's all going to eventually start running up in that kind of direction. But so, yeah, I like running it this way while we can.
Right. Do you see that happening in a lot of trades, not just roofing, you know, and, you know, more than just a construction trade, or
I mean, it's
everything?
It's happening in every business vertical that I know of. It's already come through the trades, you know, HVAC, electrical, plumbing, private equity has gotten deep into those things. They're already throughout the restaurant industry. They're throughout the phone industry. They're throughout every industry, and even like insurance is a big thing. I didn't know that, but sitting down with my friend Jesse Harlan a couple weeks ago, and he said that same thing. Private equity companies are coming in, buying up like mom and pop insurance agencies, right? Like there's no such thing as a mom and pop insurance agency anymore.
Right.
It's all
the
it's all connected to some big private equity firm. Yeah.
Yeah. That can be scary for small businesses.
For sure.
But the more they stick together, and that's what, you know, a lot of networking does.
That's right.
I don't think I'm with anybody in networking that is a huge corporation.
No.
You're part of a networking group with 80 people, so there could be one or two, but out of 80 people, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not. And still at the end of the day, you know, where 90% of the people in there aren't part of a major corporation, but still 100% of the people are person to person.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
So I don't want to say that like I'm against all big business, but I appreciate small business while we have it.
Right.
And
well, we can never really be against big businesses because we're all buying something from Amazon every other day.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter what it is. You don't go to a store anymore.
No, it's true.
You don't go to a website to look for something.
Yeah.
You don't go to Best Buy to look for an iPad cover anymore. You're just hopping on Amazon.
Yep. I was looking for these True Classic t-shirts the other day.
Yep.
And instead of going to trueclassic.com,
you went to Amazon.
I went to Amazon first, and I was like, what am I doing? Yeah. And then I went to True Classic, and it was actually cheaper. You got better like shipping. You got like you got like a better price on the shirts. Yeah. Through them. But
But the mindset of going straight to Amazon versus that.
Yeah.
So soon you're going to be able to buy a roof on Amazon.
Soon you'll be able to buy a roof online from Dreamworx.
That's coming soon to a town near you.
Mm-hmm.
Camera, do we look
it's coming.
That one.
You look at that one. I think that's kind of the future. of,
Of
we
everything.
have some of that now, but to literally be able to do it online,
Yep.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
COVID really kind of made that move a little bit faster.
Yeah.
People not getting out and wanting to be around people as much, and it's kind of stuck here over these last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's getting back to normal.
Yeah.
Don't want to get too sidetracked on the whole couple years of everybody's terrible life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I got married, so I guess it depends on if you count that as terrible or great. It's been great, but now
Shannon.
Yep. Now Shannon,
Get
I'm gonna
'em.
make sure she doesn't watch this.
No, you're doing. It's COVID changed the way that we all operated as a business. It made people realize that like people started like mass exiting, offices and realizing that like, okay, you can make a living outside of working a typical 9 to 5, and it kicked off like the gig economy that is, people are driving for Uber, driving for
Right.
Lyft, driving for DoorDash or just Instacart or whatever. Like,
Yep.
you can make your own schedule. You can work from home. You can work from wherever you want. Now you have Starlink, and you can literally work from wherever you want. So
it changed all industries.
Yeah.
It's people working from home more. People not sending their kids to daycare anymore because it's extremely expensive. And if you can work from home and have your kids there, so it changed everything.
Yeah. Some for the good, some for the worse.
Yeah. But to get back to roofing.
Yeah. Let's get back to roofing.
Sorry.
Sorry.
We're just getting off onto some tangents here.
Yeah.
But
we can cut some of the fluff out if we need to.
we can. That's you love editing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So now you don't do any of the physical work.
Nope.
But when you first started 10 years ago, how bad were those first couple jobs that you did? Or how difficult was it?
Oh, dude, it sucked. It sucked. I'm a 6'4", lanky, Scottish person that gets sunburned if I look at a light for too long. Like the lights in here will give me a sunburn, right? So I definitely chose the wrong industry to for someone that is easily burnt. Yeah. But it was tough, man. It was really tough, and it gave me a good it gave me a good baseline for like what goes into this industry.
Right.
Like I would never change it for the world, but it was brutal. I remember sold like a townhouse in Harrisburg, and it was 4 stories in the back.
Oh boy.
Right. It was a 3-level townhouse, and then it had a walkout basement.
Okay.
And there was a deck in the back. So couldn't get a delivery, or for some reason I didn't get a delivery. So we had to park a trailer all the way down the road, walk every bundle of shingles up to the back of the deck, up a ladder onto the deck. I was standing on the deck, someone would hand me the bundle, and then I would climb a 36-foot ladder from the deck up to the top of this roof.
That sounds terrible.
And we did it was like an 8-square roof, which is like, 30. That's I don't even know, 24 bundles of shingles. It was rough. It may have even been bigger than that. I remember I carrying shingles all day.
Yeah.
And then that night when I was asleep, I couldn't sleep that night because my legs were twitching all night long. Like I didn't sleep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My muscles were literally like tremoring.
Yeah. So that makes you really appreciate the guys that do the hard labor.
100%. Yeah. I mean,
it's not the easiest job.
Every business is built on the people on the lowest rung of the company, right? So like in a roofing company, that'd be the guy that's cleaning up the ground. Right. And like, that's literally where the success starts. If that's not successful, nothing up above, along or further up from that will be successful.
Right.
So it definitely gave me a good appreciation for like the work that people like Moses did, because he did it for a lot longer than me.
Right.
And on much higher and much scarier roofs on much hotter days and on much colder days. And he was getting paid much less. So like it made me really appreciate the people that came up in this industry and people that I was able to learn from.
Right. So you started from the bottom, but you started from the top, and now you're here.
Yeah.
Because you're a roofer, right?
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, I did a lot of bottom level jobs in a lot of different ways, right?
Yeah.
Like whether that was, being the demo guy or, because when we first started, we demoed it, like we did anything we get our hands on, right? And like demoing burnout houses and stuff. And carrying 100 pound barrels of, or not barrels, but trash cans full of trash, like
Yep.
3 stories up a townhouse so we could dump it out the window upstairs. Like,
You did a lot.
yeah, we did everything. We did everything. But yeah, I have the utmost respect for people who roof, people who work in the sun, and people who can work with their hands.
Right.
From those couple years that, you know,
Did
I did it, and, you know, luckily was good enough that I didn't fire myself.
Yep.
You know.
You ever want to strap on a tool belt and go out there and help a crew out, or maybe doing a shed? You don't have to bend over as far because it hurts your back.
It would be fun. You know what? I did a pipe boot earlier for my neighbor. Guy up the street called me and he was like, "Dude, my roof's been leaking for like a year." I'm like, "Why didn't you call me?" So I went up the other day and his pipe boot was just obliterated.
Yeah.
Right? It was gone. Right. It was so rusted and dried out, and it just was wide open. So I went out and just the pure, like, going up there and making sure I had everything I needed, which wasn't much. It was like I needed a hammer, a couple nails, a pipe
Right.
boot, right, and a tube of caulk to get the shingles like sealed back down around
Yep.
but it took me like 5 minutes and it felt good. So yeah, I do.
Yeah. You got to keep that. You got to keep that in your back pocket.
Yeah.
You can't ever lose it.
Gotta stay honest.
Yep.
Gotta stay honest.
Gotta be able to keep doing it.
Yeah. Because yeah, I mean,
for a little while.
For a little while at least. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell me this. You're like this question. Tell me how you got the name Dreamworx and one of the most memorable logos, at least in Central PA or the Northeast,
If not the world.
if not the world.
I mean, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. So the name Dreamworx literally is. I wish there was a cool origin story for it.
Can you make one up?
Give me a minute.
Yep.
I got nothing.
We're going to a commercial.
Yeah, we're running a commercial break. Yeah, roll to our sponsors. BetterHelp and I don't know, Black Rifle Coffee Company. Yep. Anyways, yeah, we when we first made the business, Steve and I, we called it Agility Construction Group because we wanted to do everything.
Mhm.
Like we wanted to do additions and decks and remodels and kitchens, bathrooms,
Basically,
roofs.
anything you can get your hands on.
Yeah, we just wanted to be like general contractors, basically. And then we quickly realized that like Agility Construction Group is a fine name for a business that wasn't like forward facing to people, but we need something more memorable. So we asked this guy Chris. We were like, "What do you think would be a good name?" And he was like, "DreamWorks Exteriors." And we're like, "Okay, that sounds good."
He's been waiting for somebody to ask him a cool name, and
yep,
he's like, "All right, cross that one off. Now I got my next cool name to give out."
Yep, he had that one in his pocket, I guess.
Yep.
The logo though, I made back when I was in like college.
Okay.
I went to college for design for a couple years, and the guy that I was working for, I just always noodled around with different logos and designs and things for him. And I made that one day, and I just always had it sitting on my computer.
Yeah.
And I would tinker with it, change the shape of it a little bit, make the edges longer or make them like diagonal, zigzag this way or whatever,
Yeah.
And yeah, I just played with it for long enough, and not even particularly artistic. I think I just like started clicking around on a mouse and kind of made itself.
Fell into it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that kind of looks like a house.
Yeah, it does look like a house.
Yeah, so it's people talk shit on it because it doesn't really mean anything to roofing. It's like a house cut in half. But
Well, it depends on which way you're looking at it.
that's the way I see it. Like
it could be the side view of the house.
Yeah.
Every other roofing company has the 3 roofs or or something like that. And, and maybe we're just looking at it a different way.
Yeah. But it's funny. I never thought it would be like a logo we would keep or use for a long time.
Yeah. And I know people like it.
People seem to like it. So we're going to stick with it for a while, I guess.
Yeah. No change in it now.
We're working on trademarking it. So nobody else can take it. Yep.
That's good. So you're the owner, boss. I know your business cards don't say that, but you do a lot of marketing. You do a lot of back end numbers. I know you have people in place to do certain things of helping, but how do you manage one, being a husband, father, boss, manager, sometimes pipe boot installer to the marketer to making sure the company's running the right direction, that we're not going to run out of money. How do you handle doing all that? And it's okay to say you don't and you just fumble through it every day, because I'm sure every small business owner would say the same thing.
For sure. I mean, I watched a video the other day, or I think Sarah sent me this video like years ago. I was having like a tough time. She sent me this video, and it was a lady doing like a graduation speech.
Yep.
Whatever they call that. I forget the name for it. Commencement. I don't know.
Yeah, I never graduated. Well, I graduated high school, but I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. There's a lady doing that, and someone asked her that question, and she was like, "What you don't see is there's 3 buckets. All right, you have your family, you have your health, and you have your wealth, which is like basically your business, like family, health, and wealth. And if you're crushing it in one of those, likely you're not doing as well in the other 2, right? So if your business is taking off, there's a possibility that you're, not giving your family enough attention or giving yourself enough attention. And that's the way it definitely feels some days. What I've gotten trying to get used to now is just rhythms and scheduling. So like work an hour in the morning looking at numbers. And then that next hour is spent thinking about marketing. And that next hour is spent watching videos on business development. And then that next hour is spent doing something personal, right? Whether that's reading a book or doing puzzles. Like I love doing puzzles. Something that's just like, is just for me, not for anybody else. So that's how I've come to deal with it.
Yeah.
Not to say that I excel in any one of those, but I do 60% well in most of them.
Yes, that's over half. So
yeah, exactly.
You're doing better than most, probably.
Yep. But yeah, man, it's a struggle. It's a struggle to try to keep all of it in balance. And a lot of times it's not in balance. And what I'm grateful for is the people around me, like my family, like all the employees here. And, because those people will see you at your best, but also see you at your worst, but never judge you any differently. Right. Because of, they've seen you on both ends of that spectrum.
Right.
So that's where it's more about the people that I'm surrounded with that make it all possible.
Right.
More so than me.
So you would say to another small business owner, surround yourself with the right people and get on some sort of schedule. Put things in your calendar to do things so you're not as much as of a scatterbrained and kind of being, I got to do this, or I wanted to watch a video today, but I don't know when I'm going to do that. Set some time aside and make sure you're getting things done.
I would say, honor your time. Honor your time and make the most of your time. And, put a number on how much you're worth per hour. And if you are doing things that you wouldn't pay somebody that amount to do, you shouldn't be doing it. I don't know if I've made sense when I just said that, but if let's say I make $20 an hour, but I am spending 6 hours of my day filing papers, would I pay somebody $20 an hour to file papers?
Probably not.
No, probably not. Get that off your plate. Get that off your plate, because you can fill yourself with activities that you would pay somebody $20 an hour to do. And then that moves up to the point where you're like, all right, $100 an hour. Would I pay someone $100 an hour to edit videos? No. Well, then I should probably stop editing videos. Yeah. And find someone that can edit videos faster and maybe even better than me. It's going to cost.
Better is going to cost.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because I'm a fantastic editor. But no, for real, it's just, this is all personal development. All right. You just got to show up every single day wanting to get a little bit better. And as long as you take a step forward each day, you'll cover a mile by the end of the year.
Right. And what you hear professional college athletes say is, I'm just trying to be better than yesterday.
That's right.
And that works in home life, work life, activity life. Just be better than you were yesterday. Unless if you had a stellar day. Yeah. And you're like, I don't know if I can top that, but don't have that mindset. have
For
that
sure.
mindset of I can do a little bit better.
Yeah. It's the slight edge.
Yep.
It's compound interest. That's how this shit works. You can't make a great business overnight.
No.
You can only make it every single day.
Yep. And nobody's perfect, so you can always do better.
That's right. That's right.
And with that being said,
yeah,
Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
MJ.
MJ. All right, now we can move on to the next topic.
Yeah,
that was the easy one.
Yeah,
that was the easy one, and that could be because of our age. But I was watching something the other day, and that there has been more viewership watching Michael Jordan play than there is LeBron James. I don't have that stat. Somebody fact check that when you're watching this video.
Yeah.
But you want people to watch what you're doing.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing things in a good, fun way, people aren't going to know.
Yeah.
The more people know, the more business companies can get. So you want to get the people to watch and know you because you're changing things.
Yeah.
And not just racking up your points. Nothing against LeBron James. If you watch this, great basketball player, second best all time.
Second best of all time.
Second best all time. But yeah, so LeBron James and Michael Jordan, they practiced every day. They try to get better every day.
For sure.
So as good as they are, you can always do better.
One of the things I always liked about LeBron James was he spends, I forget what his budget is, but he spends like an exorbitant amount of money.
Like millions.
On
a million on his body, right?
On his body. Yeah. Because he's like, this is how I make my living. I got to keep it up. And if this isn't good, nothing else is going to be good.
Yeah. I wish I had some more money to spend on my body, and maybe I could have made it into the pros.
Yeah. I think that's all it was.
Yeah.
The reason he didn't make it into the pros was because of the money.
Yeah. Definitely.
Otherwise,
money helps.
Otherwise, you would have been there for sure.
So, what do you like to do in your spare time?
Besides
more work, because sometimes I'm guessing your spare time turns into I'm at the office later, or I'm up early now, not going to the gym because something happened yesterday on a job site that you got to take care of.
That does happen a fair amount. Most of my spare time is spent thinking about business, and not just Dreamworx business, just thinking about business in general.
Right.
Like I'm obsessed with the idea of business, of this business or that business, or could I start this? Could I start a media company? Could I start an online directory for local businesses? Could I start this? Could I start that? Like my brain is a constant barrage of these different things.
Yeah.
But I've tried to tone that down a bit because I had 2 kids that I love very much. And I want them to know that outward success is super important, but inner success will bring outer success. Right. So when you are spending quality time with your family and spending quality time taking care of yourself, doing things that you enjoy, you're going to be better outside of this.
Right.
So with that said, I took up golf and I suck.
I've seen you golf. You're average. The average player is well below the average of a professional.
Yes.
Or college, or probably even a high school kid that's playing golf.
Yeah.
Golf is a very difficult sport.
Yeah. The difference between a good golfer and a professional golfer is miles.
Yes.
But so it really makes you like appreciate how good people are. Like Bryson DeChambeau, I watched him on Masters yesterday. Just swish, like didn't even touch the green.
Yeah.
Swish a chip from like 100 yards out.
Yeah. And you're just trying to hit the green.
And I'm just trying to hit the ball.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. Like I just want to hit the ball. But I like golf. It's something like when it clicks, it clicks. And it's a lot like business. You know, you're going to you have to constantly refine, and then you get it right. And then something changes. And you have to retool. And you have to make slight adjustments every single time.
Right.
Even the best golfer makes a shit shot sometimes because, nothing is predictable.
Right.
No. That's something I like about golf. It's that it's, it forces you to be mindful, forces you to not think about 100 different things at once. You can only think about that ball
right
in that moment. So golf is fun. I love music. I love listening to music. I love playing music. I love thinking about music.
You were in a band.
I was in a band
at some point.
I was in a couple bands. Nothing like nothing ever. My history in bands is a lot like my history in work. Like I quit more than I
Then you did.
ever really stayed with. But it was just fun. Like I always enjoyed music and performing and just being crazy, having fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Is that play the guitar, and that should be what you do at your next networking event, is get up there, play the guitar, sing a song about small business to everybody in the room. That's my challenge for you,
Dude.
At some point,
You know what? I'll take that challenge. I'll take that challenge.
because you're gonna grab everybody's attention.
Yeah.
Nobody in that room is not gonna remember what you did.
Yeah.
Or how you did. They're not gonna care if you screwed up, because they're not gonna go up there and do it better. They might be able to go up there and speak better than somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
but no, I'm gonna say that, and somebody's gonna bring in like an electric guitar
Yeah,
and start playing Led
shred.
Zeppelin or something.
Yeah.
But they probably can't sing.
I can't sing.
I mean,
I can physically sing, but
yeah, I mean,
you know what? No, that's pretty interesting, Mike. I'm gonna take you up on that. I'll take that challenge. I will take that challenge. I played in front of my daughter's preschool like 2 years ago, and I was shaking like a leaf to play in front of a bunch of like a group of like 20 5-year-olds.
Right.
And I played Old McDonald, and I sucked. I screwed up so many times. But
oh man, that song can be a little rough sometimes. I try to sing it to my kids, and I'm like, that's not how it goes.
Yeah, right. Like, what did the cow say again?
Yep.
Quack? No, shit. No. No. Oh, moo. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Well, I'll let you at least have a couple drinks before you go up there, so the shaking's not as nervous.
But no, I think that would be pretty cool, actually, to just because any way you can be memorable, any way you get people to remember you is a good thing.
Right.
And I don't always do the best at that. Maybe sometimes I go up on stage and I swear too much, and but I'm passionate about stuff, and that may be a better way to make a lasting impression.
Right. I don't know if it was. I think it was you that said this, but we're all here to make fucking money.
Yeah.
People work to make money.
Yeah.
And if you can't be relaxed and normal, then you're probably maybe not making as much as you could.
Yeah.
If you're turning yourself into a robot.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all humans on this earth. We don't know exactly why we're here or what exactly lies on the other side. So just have fun.
Yeah.
Just have fun. Be
and
good.
Just think about it. It might not even be you.
Yeah.
Running yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe we're in some sort of matrix, and there's aliens playing a Sims video game, and that's what planet Earth is.
Honestly, that's as plausible of a theory as I can think. I'm like, I don't claim to know anything. I don't claim to know why we're here, what's going on, but all I know is what feels good, what makes other people happy, what makes me happy, and what is generally good, what I think is generally good for the world. So, yeah, and that's business and having fun and making positive impacts on people,
and recycling.
And recycling.
And recycling. There are sponsors, recycle bins that are sitting outside.
Shout out to the trash man that takes out my recycling every week.
Yes. But you probably don't rinse out all the bottles, so they're not recycling those. The pizza box has cheese and sauce on it, so they're not taking that.
Yep.
But we try. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Life is try.
That's right.
Yep.
That's all we can do.
If you had a time machine, what would you go back and tell yourself 10 and a half years ago, right before you started Dreamworx?
I would tell myself to stop doubting myself and realize that showing up every day and working hard will do much more for you than having raw natural talent. Like I remember having like an existential crisis one time, and I was like, I don't want to be a business owner. I don't want to be a roofer. I was like, I don't even like this, right? And it was actually Steve that said this to me. He's like, man, you're not a roofer. You're a business owner, right. And roofing just happens to be the business that you're in, but you're a business owner, and that still resonates with me to this day because that was kind of like a wake up call. Like, okay, right, like this is you know, just like we said about Doug in the beginning of this. Like, Doug's a businessman, but painting is his medium.
Right.
I'm a businessman, but roofing is my medium.
Yep.
It's just what you choose to work in. So I would tell myself to stop doubting yourself and worry about showing up consistently.
Yep.
More so than having the answers.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the practice, as a famous Allen Iverson always said, is we're talking about practice and not the game. But let's be honest, he practiced. He just was very well at his craft.
Yeah.
And if you're that good at your craft, take a day off.
Yeah.
Go to the golf course.
Right.
Go out for a beer somewhere.
Yeah.
Go take an afternoon off with the family.
Yeah. But it's true. I mean, that's like I love sports references sometimes like that, because the real work of business is put in the practice, right?
Right.
Whenever it comes time, like just like in a game, right? Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, and Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, every single one of those guys, if you look at the timeline of their career, 99% of their career is spent practicing.
Right.
But we only recognize the 1% because that's when you're executing.
Yep.
So, playing the game of business or playing the game of basketball, it's just execution of your practice.
Right.
So it's, sure, you make your money in that 1% of time, but 99% of your work is done behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes,
Yeah.
in the practice.
Yep.
Of
And
making sure you're doing things the right way.
That's
and
it. Yeah.
Everything like that.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. I'm pumped now.
So now you're gonna get
like,
a picture in your office here of Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
Behind the press or behind the press table, and ball cap and big jacket and chains. I think he was wearing. I'm a Philadelphia fan, that's why I know that. But why are we talking about practice?
Yeah.
But it's important.
I'm jazzed up right now.
You ready to go shoot some hoops?
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to shoot some hoops. I want to go make some deals now.
Yep. Let's go sell something.
Yeah, I want to go sell something.
Yep. It's Friday, almost 2:00, and people aren't buying this late in the afternoon. Just kidding. They buy 24/7.
That's right. And we got to be here. We have to be there for them 24/7.
Yes.
24/7. We got to be there.
Where do you see the business going in the next couple years to 10 years to 15 years? Are your two daughters going to take over the business?
That's up to them, honestly. No, I would rather see the business go into the hands of the people who help build it than my children. Maybe my children can
work here,
can get into it somehow, and they can earn their way a spot into this business. But I would rather see in 10 years, if I'm completely out, I'd rather see you with 5%. I'd rather see Stevie with 5%. I'd rather see Matt, Nina, all the people who helped build it. I'd rather see them. I'd rather see them have a piece of this business and benefit from the hard work that they've put in.
Well, if you're leaving, I'm leaving.
But yeah, that's what I would rather have than my kids to take the business. And
they might not want it.
Yeah, they may not want to be in this kind of thing. And
roofing's not the most fun, and kids have a big imagination.
Yeah,
so they're not. Now I say that, and in 15, 20 years, they're going to be running this company. They're going to be in 6 states.
Yeah, probably.
And
I was gonna say, you give it to my kids, and somehow my kids blow it up.
Yep, it's now the biggest construction trade company in the world. We're going overseas. We're doing everything, and
Lucy is the wealthiest woman on earth.
Simply private jet going to check on a job site.
Yep. But no, and seriously, I would rather turn this company over to employees than turn it over to investors, or turn it over to someone who hasn't been there for the long haul.
Right. Or even just selling it, and then that person runs it into the ground.
Yeah.
Now Dreamworx is the worst company in Central PA when they were the best.
Right.
Or one of the best.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pass the torch on to the people who have ran with the torch the most.
Yeah.
If I pass it to my kids, no offense,
they didn't do
anything. I'm also thinking of my kids. I'm like, she's 8. Why would I give her the business? But I think you got to earn this shit. And, the same way that I've gotten better by showing up every single day, everybody here has gotten better by showing up every single day. And those are the people that I would want to put that's whose hands I'd want to put the business into. Right. But as long as I'm here,
which you're young, you should be here for quite some time.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna, if you can retire by your 40, then you're not paying us enough.
Dude, I don't think I'll ever retire. Like, if anything, my role at Dreamworx will become smaller and smaller and smaller, and I will just go do other things. Right, I'll go start one of the other 100 business ideas that I have in my phone right now.
Yep.
But like, really, I just want to see. I want to see Dreamworx be the number one roofing company in Central Pennsylvania that is known for quality, customer service, standing behind everything that we do, treating the people that work for us, the absolute best of anybody out there, and then in turn treating our customers the best out of any single person out there.
Right.
So whether that comes to $10 million in revenue, or that comes to $25 million in revenue, or if it's still at like $7 or $8 million in revenue, as long as those other things are met,
yep,
I'll be happy. I'll be happy.
The main goal.
That's the main goal. That's the main goal.
Is to keep people happy.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Employees and customers.
Yes.
Yep.
And the family.
And the family, hopefully.
and the beer distributors we go to help work the Friday work days go a little bit better.
That's right. That's right.
Shout out to Westies. Yeah, Westies. That is actually where we got these. Westies beer distributor. If you haven't been there, they got a wide selection of all beers. I feel like I'm doing a commercial for them. Yeah. When did I start working at Westies?
Westies is great.
It is great.
I walked in one day and the owner, he is, I don't know how old he is. I'm just gonna take a stab here.
Yep. They run it low.
He's in his,
in case if he watches this,
he's in his 80s.
Yep.
Right. Can't really walk on his own. He's got a walker. He's got a chair. Yep. But he's sitting there greeting people at the door.
That's awesome.
And I was like, hell yeah. And I walked up to him because I just saw a Penn Live article, because I think they just reached like 50 years in business.
Yeah.
And I saw a picture of him and I was like, hey, you're the guy. He's like, that's me.
Yeah.
I'm like, here you are. He's like, here I am.
Yep.
This is what I do. He's like, I love this place. I'm like,
I know a lot of people that do.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great place to go.
It is. Good selection.
And
friendly service.
Yes. And if you're not greeting the crews and the customer of a roof we're doing when you're 80, Westy's got you beat. Mr. Westy or whatever his name might be.
I'll be wheeling my ass out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
In a wheelchair.
Yep.
Just trying to get up. Let me carry one of them bundles up.
Yep. Put me in a hospital bed and roll me out there, Yep. It'd be fun.
It'd be fun. No, you'll be golfing when you're 80.
I hope so. That's the plan.
You get to be closer to the tee.
Yeah, there we go.
You get to
hit from the gold tees.
Yep. So that's important. But what's important for every other small business owner that you could give a word of advice to? Being in business for 10 years is a long time. 10 years doesn't seem like a long time, but 10 years is a long time. It can go by fast. I'm sure it has.
Yeah.
But what could you tell somebody that's, let's say 4 years and under? Because once you hit the 5-year mark is pretty good. But somebody that's maybe been in business for a year to 4 years.
I would say focus on building your brand early. Don't wait to build your brand. Build it early and build it as often as you possibly can. Building brand is what will carry you in times when times get hard. If there's an economic downturn and suddenly people aren't spending money on roofs, but they need a roof, they're going to go back to the most comfortable thing that they know. And the comfortable thing they know is going to be the name that they see a lot. So if you have a chance to get that office with a billboard or a sign on the side of the road, get it. If you get a chance to sponsor a baseball team, sponsor them. If you get a chance to volunteer at a community event, volunteer at that event, because people are going to associate your business not as a business, but as a people operation, as you, as the business owner, as Charlie, as Moses, as Mike. Those things will carry you way further than the amount of good marketing or the amount of good tech that you have.
Right.
So that would be my recommendation is focus on your brand. Yeah. Always be building that brand.
Get yourself out there. Join a networking group.
And
get your branded hoodie.
Yep.
Wear it out to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Wear it everywhere.
Yep.
And meet people.
Mm-hmm.
You could meet a stranger somewhere. Next thing you know, they need your service. You got a job. They have a friend.
Yep.
Now you have 2 jobs.
Yep. And network.
Yep.
Network. Like I said, didn't do any networking for the first 9 years of our business. And it has paid off tenfold in the 1 year that I've been putting work into networking.
Yep. Has
returned 10 times the money and 10 times the satisfaction and 10 times the impact of anything we did over the last 9 years.
That's powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously, man. It's been a game changer.
Well, that's good to know. So beers and business networking, the best around.
There it is. I would tell people to join the Beers and Business Networking Group, hosted by none other than Mr. Mike Watson at the wonderful Sherman's Creek Inn with 30 plus amazing local business owners. We talk about the real issues. We learn about people, and we have real networking without all the weird strings attached.
And free food and beer.
And free food and beer, most importantly.
Yes. And great company.
And great company. That's right.
Yep. Thank you for the first Beers and Business podcast. We will be having more for everybody that sponsors an event once a month at Beers and Business. So if you want to join the group, please reach out to anybody of Charlie Anderson with Dreamworx Roofing, Mike Watson with Dreamworx Roofing, Doug Anderson with Anderson Pro Painting, Chad Hoppel with Westshire Decks, Eric Rutz with Central Penn Soft Wash, or Chris Paulman with Launch Financial Strategies.
This is the great thing about Beers and Business is this right here, right? If you sponsor a night, you get to network with a bunch of people. You get to learn about a couple other great businesses and tell other businesses why you're great, and then help equip your sales team with knowledge about you. And third, this is powerful to make short form content that we can share. I would love to do this for everybody.
Yeah.
Right. This right here is included in your sponsorship.
Yes.
Right. You get an hour to take this room, thousands of dollars of equipment that we've put in here to help tell your business's story.
Yes.
There's the unique.
There it is.
I love it.
And we're under an hour.
We're over an hour now.
Now we got to edit it. So thank you, everybody.
All right. Thanks.
All right.